Bang, Neeves Knives. I'm Jared, and today we're checking out a bunch of Sheepfoot blade shapes. Now, I have a bunch more Sheepfoot blade shapes, but I'm just going to bust out a bunch of them that I have. I love Sheepfoot blade shapes. I love Wharncliffes. I love drop points. I like all blade shapes, but there's something about a great Sheepfoot blade shape that just speaks to me and works very well for EDC. I'm not saying it's my favorite, but it's one of my favorite blade shapes, especially when it's done right. This here is the Tucson TS129 titanium frame lock. This one's in M390, front flipper, thumb flicker, or reverse flicking, titanium frame lock side. Great working clip, beautiful carbon fiber, and it's extremely slicey. Very, very slicey. Great blade shape, and yeah, works great. Great ergos too. Very comfortable. Nice and contoured. Next, Bestech Reticulin. This is an Ischem Design. Great action. Titanium frame lock. S35VN blade steel. For as weird as it looks, it's actually rather comfortable. This is an Elijah Ischem Design. And there's also the little mini-me version, which is a neck knife. Tiny little guy, same knife, just very, very small. But great blade shape. Man, this is such... It's a well-built little knife, but man, is it tiny. Let's see if I can Spidey flick it. Yes, I can. Great little tiny knife. Definitely not for everybody, but it is a cool little neck knife. And the sheath does work great. And the anno looks pretty cool on it too, the colors. But yeah, I just recently did a review on this knife if you want to check it out. Tested it, sharpened it, did everything. So yeah, cool knife. The Bestech Reticulin. We have... This is actually called a Wharncliffe Gent, but in reality, this is a Sheepsfoot blade shape. But this is called the Quest Custom Wharncliffe Gent. It's actually called the Gent. I don't know why, because this is a bit of a beast of a knife. Nice deep hollow ground blade. Beautiful Sheepsfoot blade shape that they call a Wharncliffe. Titanium frame lock. S35VN blade steel. Great action. The detent is really strong on it. Awesome knife. Marble carbon fiber inlay. Both sides. Next, the Drop Ochea's Lynx. Now, this knife, they say it's a drop point. That ain't a drop point. To me, it's not even a sheep's foot. I don't know why I put it in here. To me, this is a spay point. I mean, it's extremely similar to a spay point, but it's also very close to a sheep's foot blade shape. Great detent on this thing. I mean, amazing action. Great ergos. Compact, medium-sized knife. It does have titanium liners, titanium clip. Basically all titanium with a beautiful hollow ground blade. I mean, very, very thin behind the edge. Nice and thin. And the thumb stud action and detent is really good. You can hear it when it closes. Very, very nice. The QB Vagrant. This knife is a great buy. They're like 80 bucks, between 80 and $100. It does have AUS 10 steel, which is a great steel. It's similar to VG10. Titanium frame lock that is milled out, so it does have some weight relief. Great clip, and the action is really good. It's more of a medium-sized knife, but I can get a full grip on it. Great action, great colors. And I believe they have this in a G10 model for a little bit better price, or, you know, cheaper price. Benchmade Griptilium. Now this to me is one of the best looking sheepsfoot blade shapes because you still have a nice tip for utility cuts. I mean, most sheepsfoots do, but I mean, it's more, I'm not going to say acute because it's not like it's thin, but more pokey, I guess. I like that it's elongated. You know, it makes it to where it's a little bit more versatile in my opinion. The ergos on a Benchmade Griptilian are phenomenal. They're really, really good. You can get up nice and close to the blade if you want. And the access lock makes for great action. And Benchmade, you know, they don't have many knives with a Spidey hole, so I like using the access lock with a Spidey hole. Benchmade Griptilian. Now that goes for the Benchmade Griptilian small and large. That one was the large one. I'm not going to break out the small one, but there is the smaller one as well. Then we have the Kizer Critical Mini. This is in 3V steel for around $100. 3V steel for $100. Nice strong detent. Micarta scales. Great action. Good ergos. And it is a sheepsfoot blade shape. Review coming soon. The Riat T2500. Now this one, some people might say it's a drop point, and I wouldn't argue with you, but beautiful knife, marbled carbon fiber on one side, titanium frame lock. They do make a large version of this. This has internal stop pins. I can actually Spidey flick it, but small little compact knife, but very cool. Tashi Baruka design. M390 steel. Next is the Alliance Designs Mini Slim Pickens. This one was modified, but yeah, beautifully modified. Acid stonewash, titanium scales, G10 backspacer and pivot collar, and the action is really good and it sounds really good too. Listen to this. Very, very nice action. Next, we have the little Kizer Shard. Now, this is a little guy, but man, does this little guy work really well. It is a little compact knife. Great micarta, too. I actually like this micarta. And even though it is such a little tiny three-finger grip, you know, three-finger knife, the detent and thumb studs work great. N690 steel. Beautiful sheepsfoot blade. The jimping actually works really good. Very precise. Nice clip too. The clip works great as well. Next, the Hinder Halftrack 20CV. This one is the half track. They also do have a full track, which is a very, not very, but it's a large knife. Same knife as this, just large. Detent is nice and strong. Very snappy. I mean, this thing is very, very snappy. It's also on the tri-way pivot. Titanium frame lock. Very smooth. Yeah, nice strong detent. And boy, is that a good-looking blade. Very utilitarian. And yes, it works so good for utility tasks. I mean, it is basically a laser. It's like having a razor blade on steroids. Very strong detent. Sometimes I like to use my thumb. And the grip is, it's built like a tank. It feels like a tank. And I don't mean because it's heavy or anything. I just mean you can feel the strength in it. There's no milling on the inside of the scales, which makes it very, very strong feeling. It just feels like a tough knife. Next, the Ferrum Forged Prolik. Now, this is made by We Knife Company, so it does have basically the same fit and finish and everything as a Civivi, but this is a Ferrum Forged design. Great detent, great action. It does have a nice little ting to it. I don't know if it's coming over the camera or the microphone, but great action. You can reverse flick it. Great ergos for such a little compact knife. The jimping works extremely well. And the blade steel is Nitro V. Nice deep carry clip that's inset. Nothing getting in the way. The clip works so good. And I like Nitro V steel. Good steel. Next, we have the QSP Penguin. This is about, I don't know about as good as you can get, but for 25 bucks, this is pretty amazing. D2 steel, beautiful, well done micarta, deep carry clip that works amazingly well. Thumb stud action is great. Mine is incredibly smooth. It is on phosphor bronze washers. I think phosphor bronze and Teflon. But yeah, good ergos. Nice. It's a compact knife, but it's not small. It's not big. It's just perfect. Great EDC size for 25 bucks or around 50 something dollars for the S35 VN version. Now, this one jumps up in price by a lot. The Taptic. This is a beautiful sheepsfoot blade. Nice, deep, hollow ground blade. The machining is insane. Liner lock with some of the best action you've ever seen or felt. I mean, the action is insane on this. And the build quality and machining is as well. The Taptic. Great knife. Watch this drop. Bink. The sound is amazing too. Couple more here. The TRM Shadow. Some people might say this is a clip point, but I think of it as a sheep's foot. You know, in my opinion, it's kind of like a better version of the Benchmade Griptilian. Better grind. Nice and thin. The blade stock is 90,000, so this thing is a slicer. 20 CV blade steel, G10, titanium clip that's, inset. Nothing's in the way. It works great. Nice depth here in the hand, so the grip is really nice and comfortable, and the action is sweet. And this, on my example, the 20 CV was done very well on this one. Beautiful stone washing. A few tiny ones. We have the Spyderco MCB. This is such a tiny little knife, but you can still operate it. Nice little sheep's foot blade. It's basically like a little razor blade, but it's extremely well built for such a tiny little knife. CTS XHP steel. I do like that steel, but it's such a little tiny knife. Then we have the CJRB Malaya. Another little knife, but very good detent. Great action on this little guy. You can see Kara's been carrying this little guy lately, so I got to clean it up. Nice deep carry clip. It has the AARPM9 steel on it. It is a Swags design. But yeah, great front flipping action. And, thumb stud action. Nice colors too. Great looking knife. Very, very useful, small little compact knife. Then we have the Concept Goblin. Another front flipper. Also a reverse flicker. Titanium frame lock, S35 VN blade steel, and very well built little knife. The clip works great for a titanium milled clip. Man, I love the stone wash that's on the scales, and then the blue accents look really nice. It is a very small knife though, but very useful little guy, and I can get a full grip. Jimping works great. Nice little spot right there for my finger. Kara, I had to basically take this off of her. I gotta clean the heck out of this every time. I gotta empty her pockets. Give it to me. Give it to me so I can clean it, because I already know. The Concept Goblin. And we have the Spyderco Techno 2. They do have the Techno 1. This one has the green backspacers or standoffs. Great action. This is a brother or cousin to the Slish Buoy. These are pretty readily available, I believe, though. CTS XHP steel. I really like it. And it's got the same finish as the Slish Buoy, or the original Slish Buoy, which I do have, but I'm not going to break it out. but same exact finish, which is one of the best finishes, in my opinion, you can get on a blade. It's almost like a mirror polish stone wash. It's really nice, and it actually hides scratches very well. It's a lot better in person than it's going to be over the camera. But yeah, this one's very, very smooth too. Very well built. And we'll make this one the last one. The Olamic whippersnapper. Man, this is such a well-built knife. I know I've shown it in a couple of the past videos or last videos, but it really is such an amazing knife. I really love this thing. It's so easy to fidget with. And just the action alone, when it's in your hand, it feels like a high-end knife. It really does. It's a great example of a well-executed, well-machined knife. Very, very smooth. And you can get these in so many different variations and versions. And that sheepsfoot blade is just so awesome. So useful, too. Great, great knife. Love this knife. The Olamic whippersnapper. So, there you guys go. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.